A lot of my friends have been buying houses. One of my most recent friends that I sat down with, and again, I asked him, I want y'all to know, I did ask for permission without revealing who they are, where they live, what's going on, even hinting to where they are. But this is something I told them. They just bought a $1.2 million home. And so I'm thinking when I walked in of the house, it's going to be laid out. Y'all, a $1.2 million home, about 7,000 square feet, 7 bedrooms. And y'all, when I walked in, they were house poor. They were house poor. And I told them, I said, man, I get it. Owning a home is a part of America's dream. Owning a beautiful home at that, it's just even better. But too many people out here are buying way more house than what they can actually afford, and it's killing their finances. You got this huge house with a huge mortgage, but now you can't even afford furniture. Now you can't even afford to turn on the lights in certain areas. Now part of your house is hot, the other part of your house is cold, because during the winter months, you can't run a heater because you're scared of that gas bill. But you got this beautiful house. The pull-up game is wow. But then when you get inside, it's like, whoa, wow. You're struggling to pay property taxes and maintenance costs. You're living paycheck to paycheck just to keep up with your home, not with the Joneses, but just to keep up with your home, because you bought based on emotions, not logic. So instead of for investing or saving, all your money is tied up in the house. I remember when I bought my first house, I was debt free. And I had just proposed to my ex-fiance at that time. And so I was like, yo, I gotta do it right. Boy, I gotta do it right. I'm about to be a husband in these streets, son. She beautiful, she fine. Oh, I gotta do it right. She was about 15 years older than me too. So I was like, yo, I gotta show her. I may be younger, but I'm still a man. So I went out there, found me a developer, and I built a custom home. A custom home. The very first piece of real estate I've ever purchased, I built a custom home. Acre lot, out in the country, out in the middle of nowhere, to be honest with you. I turned it into a smart home. Some of you all, if you've been following me for a while, you all have seen it. It's a beautiful home. I got into that home 3 months later, single, because our engagement did not proceed forward to marriage. And when I got into that home, I was like, man, this is a beautiful home, but it's just too much house for me. And as I evolved and as I matured, I said, man, I should have got into a duplex. I should have got into a home to where I live on the right side and I rent out the left side. I should have maybe started off with a townhome, like for $150,000 and then grow and evolve from there. So that way I wasn't house broke, but I had too much house for just me. For just me and the income of where I was at. Yeah, I could have just got a townhome. And that's honestly what I did, y'all, if you follow me. I actually sold that home about 2 years after living in it for about a year and a half, I would say, about a year and a half. I sold the home and I moved downtown into a townhome, downtown Nashville, and got a townhome. Because here's the solution. I want you to buy a home you can comfortably afford. Man, my mortgage payment on my home in Tennessee was actually very comfortable. It was like maybe $1,500. And then when I moved downtown to the townhome, it went down to about $1,250, $1,300. Super affordable, right? But I had a strategy. Go down on mortgage on the down on cost of home, buy me some rental properties. So that way I can have wealth streams coming in. There's nothing wrong with living in a home with the strategy on how do we build wealth. Do not buy a home that you know you just cannot afford long term. If you can't afford to put furniture in it, then you can't afford the home. I'm not saying that every room, every inch of that place needs to have furniture. No, but when you walk into your home, you should be able to enjoy coming home and not being stressed about the place where you lay your head.
Here is the truth. I am always looking for practical ways to help you build, right, wealth, specifically generational wealth and legacy. And one of the best ways you can do that is with life insurance. And that's why I partner with my friends at Ethos. They made buying life insurance simple and hassle-free. Whether you're the main provider for your family or want to make sure your loved ones aren't left with financial burdens like debt, life insurance is a powerful way to provide financial security. As a business owner and a homeowner, I took this seriously and secured a $2 million life insurance policy through Ethos. Why? Because having a peace of mind, knowing my family will be cared for when I'm no longer here, is extremely priceless. What I love about Ethos is their quick and straightforward process. You can apply entirely online in as little as 10 minutes. I'm not even exaggerating. I did it myself. Listen, no medical exams, just a few health questions that you must answer honestly. Plus, it's affordable, making it easier to protect your family without breaking the bank. Listen, I want you to lock in your rate today by visiting anthonyoneil.com/life insurance or click the link below to get your personalized free quote today. Listen, as we're getting back to the show, I want you to protect your loved ones. Don't play around with it. Be like me. I promise you. It's a hard conversation to have, but you will sleep peacefully knowing that you took care of your family. Go to anthonyoneil.com/life insurance. Let's get back to the show to help you keep building this wealth.
Which leads me to number 2. And this is something that I have to remind myself, is we got to stop trying to impress people. On one hand, we often hear people say, hey man, who cares what people think about you? Well, in certain businesses, somewhat like mine, it does matter what y'all think about me. If you don't think that I'm practicing what I preach, if you don't see that, man, being debt-free can actually be cool and sexy, then you're not going to be attracted to me. Because let's be honest, we have a lot of other people out there who are advertising the Lamborghinis, the Rolls Royces. Hey, man, come make $1 million so you could drive something like this. And for a while, I had to find the balance, right? I was just actually talking to my mentor, Pastor Lee, about this. I got to find the balance of how do I expose you to what you can do in this space without it coming off bragging with me trying to impress you, like, look what I got. Because I think there is a balance, right? And put it in the comment section. What is that balance that you all would like to see from people like myself, people like a Dave Ramsey? What is that balance you all want to see of exposing you to what we do have to show you what you can have, compared to using that? I think that's it right there though. But using that to draw you into something that I know you probably can't do. Because half of the people who advertise all this luxury stuff, they're renting these cars, they're leasing these cars, they're drowning in debt. But what I have really learned is a lot of people really do not care about the Gucci belt, the Louis Vuitton bag, when your bank account is screaming help. I think if we all put on a name brand, and if we all had to put our bank account number on our forehead, I think a lot of us would be looking at people saying, wow, you got on a $3,000 hoodie, but you don't even have $1,500 in your bank account. Wow, you got a $10,000 purse, but you don't even have $5,000 inside your bank account. Wow, you're driving a $300,000 car, but you don't even have $100,000 invested. Because so many people are spending money they don't have to impress people who do not care. I love nice things, but when I see people with name brand stuff, I'm not like, oh, I'm gonna take them even more serious. No. I'm not impressed because you got on a Louis Vuitton sweater. I'm not impressed because you got on a Gucci jacket. I am not impressed. Would I give you a compliment? That looks nice. Absolutely. Absolutely. But what sense does it make to afford, to finance, to have a luxury car, but you're struggling to afford gas? You're driving a Rolls Royce, you're driving the BMW, you're driving a Range Rover, but every time you go to that gas tank, you're stressed because you're dropping $100 on gas. Someone came up to me the other day and it was like, man, dude, bro, you got the truck. You got the truck. I said, yeah, I got the truck, bro. I got the truck. Yeah, it's nice. He was like, bro, I want one. Oh, man, it'll be so great. The pull-up game will be dope, huh? Pull-up game, dope, huh? I said, man, the pull-up game is pretty dope. Yeah. He's like, you only got to get an oil change once a year, right? I was like, yeah. He was like, man, probably about 200, 300. I said, no, try about 2,000, 3,000. Say what? His wife was sitting right there. Should have him. I wish I could have recorded that because he said he wants it. He said, bro, I almost bought it. Then when I told him that the price of maintaining it once a year, his wife was almost like a TV. Like it zoomed in on the face. She was like, and you want that? I told him, I said, bro, I didn't get the car until I was able to afford the yearly maintenance on that car. Because the cheapest my yearly maintenance will ever be is about $2,700. 1 year it was $5,000. When I got to change the brake pads, it's going to be more. It's going to be more than $2,500. I'm praying for that day. Like, God, take your time. But we got to have an understanding that, man, the cost to look good needs to make sure that we're not stressed about it. Like, why are you buying the latest iPhone, but your savings account is empty? You're flexing on social media, but your bills are overdue. You go out every single weekend, but your credit card debt keeps growing. You'd rather look rich than actually be wealthy.